Hi, everybody. Welcome to Write the Docs Prague 2022. My name is Mikey Ariel. I am the conference chair. I live in Prague. You are seeing me at my home office, my natural habitat. I want to welcome everybody to our third virtual conference, and we hope that you have a really good time and learn something. And whether you've been with us for years or this is your first time, welcome, everybody. We do miss seeing everybody in person, and we really hoped and tried to make it happen again this year. But due to various challenges, we've had to delay that by another year. So hopefully we'll be able to come up with something for next year. But I'm really happy that all of you are here, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later. It has been another rough year. We really need to acknowledge that, and we really hope that everybody's doing okay. Situation in Europe, not ideal. And we understand and acknowledge that there are challenges that everybody's going through with work, with their personal life. And, the pandemic's not really quite gone yet, even though things are improving a little bit. And we really hope that you're taking the time and taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. And we really hope that we're going to be able to cheer you up and give you a good experience that you can remember. So for those of you who are either here for the first time or we're doing a refresher, I like to talk about this every year. We also do this in Portland. We want to kind of refresh and ask ourselves this question every year. What are we doing here? What is this community for? What are our events doing for our community members? And ultimately, we are always going to be a community, and our events are for the community and by the community. And we really hope that by asking ourselves these questions, by checking in with all of you, we can continue to evolve the community and make better events and activities and projects that are going to be for you because you are the community. So who's here? One of the great things about Write the Docs, one of the things that really brought me into the community and kept me here for so long is the fact that we have a really wide range of roles and walks of life. And what's common between all of them is the fact that we care about communication, we care about content, we care about the message. And it could be anywhere from technical writers to developers, support engineers, designers, we have librarians, we have scientists, we have all sorts, and we call ourselves documentarians as a way to kind of group all of these professions together. And being a documentarian is a mindset, Docsary didn't happen. That's how it ended up being, becoming our slogan, so being able to document the world around us, being able to capture the information and communicate it is something that we're all very passionate about. So this next slide is kind of cute. Eric posted his little emoji, custom emoji avatar. I don't know how to make these, so I just kept Eric's. Eric Holscher is our co-founder and the conference chair for Portland. So this is in total, including the virtual and in-person conferences, this is our 8th Prague conference. It's also our 9th European conference. The first European conference was in Budapest. And Portland conference just celebrated their 10th iteration. And next year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of the community as a whole, which is amazing and a little bit unbelievable. But I'm so grateful to have been part of this family for all this time. And Eric decided finally, we've had a running joke for quite a long time because we share and iterate on the same presentation for the conference introduction, and we keep editing it for whatever we need for that conference and that year. But for a long time, we've had a slide that said, we don't know what we're doing. And you know what he means, but I've always tried to kind of get him to ease up a little on the humble attitude of, no, it's okay. And I understand all of that. And we kept the joke going for a long time. But since this was the 10th Portland conference, he decided to finally retire that slide and replaced it with this slide, which I think is really nice. And I think that that's basically what the original meaning of we don't know what we're doing was, is we're never at a finished product. We are a community of people. We are a ever-changing, ever-evolving, entity, and we are made up of a lot of moving parts, and we really always need feedback. And we want to make sure that we have a community that caters to the members, and we're always happy to hear your ideas, to hear your suggestions. We send feedback forms all the time. Our doors are always open for questions and comments, and we really want to support Write the Docs as an organization. We want to support the Write the Docs community. We want to support our documentarians. So that's our job. And your job, especially now that we are here at this conference, is to make friends, learn something, and have fun, right? So Write the Docs is first and foremost started as a social network of events where we can do knowledge sharing, where we can share ideas and also learn from each other. But a lot of it was to kind of find our people, find our group, find the people that perceive and feel about content, about communication, about docs in the way that is not always shared amongst maybe colleagues or people that we are interacting with outside. So, the shared interest group energy has been always very, very exciting. And so what we really hope for is that you'll take this opportunity and really, proactively participate as much as you want and meet new people. And, when you're having a good time and you're having fun, then you're a lot more inclined to learn things, right? So a lot of times it goes together. Eric says he refuses to believe that work has to be separate from fun, and I definitely agree. And most of the time we do things in life, we really want to feel some kind of fulfillment, some kind of enjoyment from the work that we do. So this is a chance for us to do some work and have some fun and interact with really nice people. So the way that we want to do that is, as a community, as an event space, we want to give you the opportunity to facilitate all of that. But what we really we need from you is to be able to create the content and the interactions in a way that is welcoming, open, supportive, and positive. And, those things, each one of them can have an entire presentation just about that. But when all of these are working together, is we want to bring people in, we want to make them feel welcome, we want to keep the conversation going, we want to encourage people to express themselves and to share from themselves, because that's what makes the community larger than the sum of its parts. So in order to do that, Eric came up a few years ago with a really cool rule called the Pac-Man rule. Originally, we implemented this in the in-person events, and I've actually heard that some other communities are adopting something like that, which is really cool. For the virtual event, obviously, it's a little bit different, but the idea is basically, if you're in a group of people, leave space for others to join. Now, if you're standing in a room, then it's easier to leave physical space. But even if you're in a session and you're having a conversation with people, and maybe you see some folks coming in, into the chat, but they're not turning on their audio and video, just keep an eye out for people who are around and in the rooms and in the sessions, and maybe take a pause, invite them to share their video, give people an explicit permission to join and evolve conversations, right? So that's one of the cool things that we've been really trying to do. And the attitude around the Pac-Man rule is that there's always space for everybody and to add more people. Another rule that we started back before we went virtual is the snowball rule. And this is actually probably easier in the virtual space with the chat functions and everything that we have, is for every year that you've attended, we encourage you to meet one new person each day. So if you're here for the first time, one person each day. Easy enough. If you're here for the 9th time, then you're going to meet a lot of new people. And this is a really cool way to break down silos, to get people who have been here for a while to kind of introduce themselves to the new people, to get the new people more comfortable joining these conversations. So Pac-Man and Snowball together makes for a lot of really cool networking. And I want to also point out that even more explicitly, but with a little side note that says you have permission to meet anybody who's here, even if they just finished giving a talk and did their Q&A, if they're on the staff, if they're a sponsor. Everybody here is a member of the community, right? So even if the speakers and organizers, we're not so special, we're just like you, and somebody might be on the stage this year, the next year it could be you, but we are all a part of this community, and we're really happy to interact and to meet people. That being said, we also want to give you explicit permission to take breaks if you need them. If you don't have to attend every single talk, we are going to be publishing everything on our YouTube channel about a week after the conference, and we don't want you to feel like you need to overwhelm yourself with talks, with unconference sessions, with hallway tracks. If you need to go out and take a walk, take a break, have some lunch, hug your cats or whatever, have a nap. Yeah, it's totally fine. And you want to be able to maintain your well-being, your mental health. We've constructed the schedule in a way where you can kind of take screen breaks. And we really hope that that's going to help. Sitting in a conference at home in front of a computer all day can be exhausting. It might even be more exhausting than being in a room with 500 people. Because at least, when you're in a room with 500 people, you get the energy from the people around you, but you can meet anybody you want, but you can also take a break and take some time for yourself. I also want to point out that since we are in a virtual space and everything that you do is inside the platform, we want to ask that you ask for permission if you want to take a screenshot of like a session or something that shows people's faces. Just get their permission before you post it on social media. If you want to take a screenshot of the talks, the slides that are in the stage area, you can do that because the speakers have given their permission to obviously publish their talks on YouTube, and some of them will share the slides. So that's okay. But if you're in a unconference session, writing day, which we had, or if you're in a hallway track or even one-on-one chats, anytime you interact with people outside of the stage talks, please ask for permission before you share, because not everybody is comfortable with that. I want to point out also that we have, of course, as always, a code of conduct, and we're very, very fortunate. Our community has been extremely welcoming, open, supportive, and caring. And thankfully, we haven't had a lot of incidents over the years, and even what we had was really, really minor. And yet, I think it's important to remind everybody that we want you to feel safe. We want you to feel comfortable. Anytime you organize an event or you facilitate a community, you really want to create a safe space. And one of the things I love about Write the Docs is how much effort everybody is putting into making it a safe space. The community members themselves, I see some Slack conversations and people will self-moderate, and they do it in a compassionate way, which is great, because that's also important, right? So anyway, the code of conduct is a minimum. It's not a standard. We want you to be excellent to one another, and we want you to feel comfortable. Okay. So if anything happens that makes you feel awkward or uncomfortable, or you want to talk to us about it in any kind of conference related spaces, including one-on-one chats and hop-in, okay, just because you're having a one-on-one conversation, it's still under the code of conduct. And if anything happens that is harmful, we really want to hear about it so that we can help you out. And we have a standard process. It's documented on the website. Everything is confidential. We have a very experienced code of conduct response team, and we will check out, we will take care of whatever we find out about if there is something that we need to look into. And we want to make sure that you have ways to also reach out to us after the conference if something happened and you're not really sure, or maybe you only realize later on that it was harmful. Then we have an email address, conduct@writethedocs.org. You can also reach us on Slack. And if you're not sure whether it's a code of conduct issue, let us know anyway, because if something might be a little bit on the fence, could go either way, but then we find out from several people that this has happened, then that probably means that it's more towards the problematic area than it isn't. So there is absolutely no judgment. We will hear everything that you have to say, and we will treat everything, on merit and based on a situation. Okay, so we want you to feel comfortable letting us know, even if you're not sure. All right, so what are we going to be doing for the next couple of days? You've already had the welcome wagon tours, so we hope that you understand and feel more comfortable on the platform. We're going to have a stage, 2 days of talks, a lot of great talks. We have live captions, and we have a moderated Q&A session after every 2 talks. Okay, so we're doing things a little bit different this year, but you'll be able to see it in the schedule on Hopin and the schedule on the website as well. If you want to ask a question during a talk, prefix it with Q and colon, and we'll be able to magic bot capture the questions, and our Q&A coordinators will feed that to our MC, who is going to be moderating the questions to the speakers. Okay. Lightning Talks, the sign up is open every day until the last talk before lunch. Okay, and the lightning talks happen after lunch. We really, really love first-time speakers. It's 5-minute talks. Slides are optional, and it's a great way to test out a new idea if you have it, or test out your speaking chops if you want to try it out. We've had some really great lightning talks in the past where people enjoyed giving them so much that they ended up submitting a full talk the following year. So this is your time to kind of open mic it and let us know if you have anything that you want to share. Another unconference we're going to have today and tomorrow from the afternoon. So all of the sessions where the lightning talks are happening, where the writing day happened yesterday for those of you who were here, and the unconference, also the Q&A sessions, there's a session tab, and you should be able to find your way around there. We have an integrated session schedule. There's no need to sign up to attend, only if you want to host a session. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have a job fair where some of our sponsors in the expo booth are going to have special booths where you can come in and look for any kind of potential work, or if you want to ask something about a company or an organization that supports us, they will be there for you, and we will update those, open those booths tomorrow morning until lunchtime. And then afterwards, the unconferences will continue. We also have a job board in case you want to take a look, or if you have a job that you want to post specifically for documentarians, by documentarians, and we really hope to be able to help more people find work. After the conference ends today, we will have a social event. We're using the spatial chat platform. We're going to post a link in the reception, or I think it's already posted. And we're also going to have a message going around with the link to it. And it kind of feels more like you're in a room and you have a little avatar that you walk around. We've tried it a couple years ago, and it seems to be going really well. So we hope you enjoy that. Other spaces to honorable mentions, we have the help desk in the expo area, and we have the welcome wagon folks there, the attendee support in case you run into any trouble. Hallway sessions are for casual chats, where you want to just go and hang out with people. You can also do one-on-one chats, and if anything happens to hop in, you can find us on Slack in the WTD-conferences channel. So I want to thank everybody who was involved in making this conference happen, the speakers who prepared their videos and gave really, really wonderful content that you're about to see, the staff, the people, the team behind the scenes who are working to make sure that everything's running smoothly, that you have the support that you need as attendees, our sponsors, organizations, some of them have been with us for years and really, really support and believe in the community. And of course, you. There would be no conference, there would be no community without you. So we're really, really grateful for you. This is a little shout out to all of our sponsors. We also have some in-kind sponsors here. Thank you for supporting us and for contributing to help us make these events and the community better for our members. I also want to thank the staff. This is our, instead of bringing everybody in on the stage, which we used to do in person, this is how I want to show off our awesome team. We have everybody here who's been working really, really hard We also want to mention the vendors. We have Bart, who's our video producer. He's broadcasting everything on stage, including what you're seeing right now. We have Julia and Cheryl, who are doing our live captions. We have some new volunteers this year. Welcome. And, some of the team has been with us for a very long time, and I'm really, really grateful. I could not have done any of this without you. So thank you. Now, I want to wrap this up by giving a few minutes talking about where we are as a community, where we want to go. We have quite a lot of global presence at this point. We have 16,000 Slack members, almost 10,000 mailing list subscribers. We have meetups on 5 continents. We have the Australia conference coming up in December. The CFP is still open until the 16th, I think, of September. So that's going to be a virtual conference as well. Check it out. And, we want to, like I said in the beginning, we're really looking at how we can make returning to in-person events be the most productive and the smoothest way possible, and make things less overwhelming for the community. We want to also think about our staff. Some of our team members, have been doing this for a long time. We're still mostly run by volunteers, these events, and we really want to look at how we're going to develop the community and the organization to be able to give folks a chance to maybe take a break if they need to maybe change roles if they need to. We've been trying to use this time when we're doing virtual conferences to really find a way to evolve and tweak our structure. So, for example, we have lots of things that we need to get some folks to help out on, and it would be great. We recently updated the team page on our website, and I'm sure somebody's going to post a link somewhere. And we have more documented, more transparent governance. If we have a breakdown of all the teams that are involved in the community, not just the conferences. We have a newsletter, we have Slack moderation, we have the job board, we have meetups, we have a lot of things, and we really want to give folks a chance to join a team or take a break from a team. So go check it out and see if you're really interested, if something there kind of calls you, and let us know if you're interested, and we'll talk about it. The other thing that we're looking at also, of course, is sustainability and getting a more steady source of revenue. The conferences have always been our bread and butter. We want to try and make sure that we stay as neutral as possible. We don't want to put anything behind a paywall, as far as content is concerned, but we're still looking at things like a membership model and, to see how we're going to do that in a way that's going to be fairly lower entry barrier. We understand that things are not great right now financially for a lot of people. And, our budgets have always been very small. We've always been really dependent on volunteers, but we want to try and make sure that we set ourselves up for long-term success and to stick around for as many years as possible, and the whole reason why we do all that is because we want to help you, right? So we want to support the community. We want to bring things that would have value to you. We want to make sure you have a good time and that you enjoy being a part of the family. So how do we stay in touch during the conference, after the conference? We have social media. Our Twitter feed is usually very lively during the conference. You can hashtag Write the Docs. You can tag Write the Docs. You can also join our Slack. We have a lot of really cool side conversations happening there, sometimes with people who can't even attend, but we want to be a part of it. So we have our Slack, we have our newsletter, we have social media, and we hope that you'll keep the conversation going. So that's it for me. We're going to take a little break now, and then we're going to start with the actual content of the conference. But again, welcome, and it's really great to see everybody, and we hope you have a good time.